Welcome to the Roland DGA setup and demonstration video for the VersaCut trimmer. The first steps in setting up the trimmer are to install the blade and cutter head. Once the trimmer is out of the box, take the separate cutter head and remove the knurled nut as well as the washer. Then place the blade with the sharp edge facing down and forward and reinstall the washer and nut. Make sure they are tight enough that the blade cannot wobble during operation. Now is a good time to point out that due to the design of the holder, each blade can actually be used twice simply by turning it around. That makes the VersaCut very cost effective to operate. Once the blade is firmly installed in the holder, install the holder onto the cutter rail by sliding it into the slot on the right side. Just push it past the spring and you are ready to cut. Now that the VersaCut is set up, let's take a look at some of its features. First, when positioning work, the cutter rail is held out of the way by two magnets. This convenient feature leaves both hands free to precisely set up the cut without worrying about holding the rail out of the way or damaging work by sliding it underneath the rail. Once you are ready to cut, light pressure on the rail will allow it to drop, and the foam strip on the underside keeps work from getting scratched while also providing slip resistance. The result is precise, straight cuts in a variety of materials. The grid on the VersaCut allows precise sizing of small pieces, and the metal guide on the left side is always square to the rail. In this example, we will cut a series of small decals to exactly 4 by 4 inches. To operate the trimmer, simply push down the cutter head and move it along the rail. The VersaCut only cuts from right to left, and while it can be pulled across the workpiece, you will find that it requires less effort when pushed, since the momentum of your body movement is helping make the cut. Once the first strip of decals is cut to 4 inches, just use the grid to position the rest. Now we have a perfect, even stack of decals ready to deliver to the customer. The VersaCut is also adept at cutting rigid materials like Coroplast foam core, Gator foam, Sintra, and other similar substrates. It will easily cut soft materials like foam boards or Coroplast in one pass, even against the grain. To cut harder substrates like Sintra or other expanded PVC products, it may be necessary to make a shallow scoring cut, followed by the final cut. In order to cut Sintra, use the small spring clip that is included with the VersaCut to ensure that the workpiece does not move between making the two cuts. Make one shallow cut to square the material with a light pass, and then follow through with a heavier cut that cuts all the way through the panel. While the VersaCut will cut materials up to 3/8 of an inch thick, certain very thick materials may require 3 or even more passes in order to cut all the way through. The VersaCut will not cut wood, metal, or glass. In addition to the grid, the VersaCut includes guides to make common angled cuts easy. Simply line up the workpiece with the guide, lower the rail, and make precise angled cuts and custom shapes. When not in use, the VersaCut can be easily stored. It includes rubber feet at one end so it can be securely leaned against a wall. Just park the cutter head at the left side and store the trimmer for the next use. For more permanent installations, Roland offers a steel stand for the VersaCut, whose assembly and operation is covered in a separate video. This completes our overview of the Roland VersaCut. For additional information, please consult www.rolanddga.com.